Hand clap, brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts channel. Welcome to all the Mystelics family and new videos. If you need to see what's up in this vibration, hand clap goes to you guys right there for definitely tuning in to see my thoughts and comments on this video. What are yours? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Why, brothers and sisters? Because when you click the thumbs up button, it also shows you more of my videos. So definitely click that as well when you definitely look into the click the thumbs up button. And of course, it also helps to push these videos further and further out there. So definitely do so, guys. Click the thumbs up button right there. And of course, if you're not done so yet, subscribe for more. And virtually, when you click the bell, when you subscribe, you become a part of the Mystelics family. And I appreciate you guys becoming part of the Mystelics family. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations. Of course, we're going to be talking about Rosie Douglas, brothers and sisters. Roosevelt Douglas right there. And of course, I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was indeed his 25th. My goodness. 25 years ago. That is crazy, man. Because I remember I was alive 25 years ago, man. I was a little boy. I was a little tiny boy, but I was there. I remember Rosie Douglas' funeral, man, in Portsmouth when he passed away, brothers and sisters. I remember that like it was yesterday. Roosevelt Douglas, of course, was a people's person. He, of course, I knew he used to interact with my father and, of course, a number of other fathers in place. But, of course, he also used to come at our home and stuff. I don't remember that, but that's what I was told. That my father used to interact with him when we went down from time to time. We used to take drives and stuff, and he used to go and stop by Rosie and, you know, talking to Rosie on the Borough Square and all kind of things. So I know my father and him was very close. And there's certain things that he used to talk about when it comes into the political arena or Dominica or the country by extension. I know today he would be very, 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 very disappointed. Very disappointed, brothers and sisters, in the trajectory that the Dominica Labour Party has gone, especially when it comes down to the vision. One of the things that he wanted to do was to elevate his people while also promoting a social understanding right there, where he helps the people who are in need and so forth and so forth. One of the things that the present government has done, they are quote-unquote helping the people who are in need by making the people who are not in need. So when the present team makes the people who are not in need by killing the economy, they want them promote a socialist understanding of trying to help the people. That's two different things, brothers and sisters. Two different things. One is helping the people where they at to elevate. The other one is helping the people where they at and bringing them down. You know, taking all the help that you're giving them, bringing them down, and then helping them down when I'm making it seem, oh, we're helping you. You know, where the people used to get bread before, back in the day. Now the people are getting breadcrumbs, and then because they're getting the breadcrumbs for free, oh, they are for us. That was not Roosevelt Douglas' idea at all. At all, especially when it comes down to certain principles that I found out a bit later on, where I was more in the understanding of politics and how things were running. I'm telling you, we all know that Roosevelt Douglas will be turning and flipping and doing Olympics in his grave today. If you see the state that Dominica has become. I remember certain people who used to associate with him and the understanding that of his mindset. Sometimes Roosevelt Douglas would not even want to stay in a hotel with the understanding that his people are not the best. The people that used to lime with him and so forth, he would be like, how can I sleep in this expensive area, or they have my people paying for me to sleep in these expensive areas while they are suffering back home or they don't have the necessary things that they need. It's interesting in contrast to today, where the Prime Minister wants to fly in the best, stay in the best. I mean, Marquesa, look at Alison Maduki, where they stayed. Recently, they claimed they went to Rome to do bidding for the Dominican people. What was the result of that? Nobody knows. So it seems like they're using the people's money, they're taxing the people consistently, adding more fees on the people's back, making them poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer, brothers and sisters. And this is why I mentioned a while ago, they are literally making the people who are not in need. Look at Picard, brothers and sisters. Picard was self-sufficient. We did nothing we didn't need. Because we were on our own, we didn't need to travel nowhere. It's kind of like the United States. We didn't need to travel to Rose, so we didn't have to go nowhere. In fact, people used to come to Picard to vacation. Today, I remember the state of Picard, brothers and sisters, when after Ross left and they brought in the Haitians, and nothing wrong with the Haitians, big up the Haitians, what have you, but the state of which Picard became. was truly heartbreaking. Truly heartbreaking, man. Anyways, I went on a little rant there. Sorry about that. But of course, the St. Vincent Prime Minister came to remember Roosevelt Douglas right there, along with some of the other folks who were there. So you see him, he is the shortest one there. Look him right there, guys. So this is the Palrep Paybush constituency, I guess. Lucky here. Hey, look the legendary priest. I find he looking younger. Don't you find the priest looking younger? He eating healthy. I find the priest looking younger. Even though he have the white hair on his head, but still he looking younger than when he had black hair on his head. I think, I don't know, he probably eating healthy, man. So this is the grave of none other than Roosevelt Douglas. And of course, family members around him. Michael Douglas.
Remember?
Who edited this? Okay then. So they taking. So he's about to put a reef.
The heavens are telling the glory of God, and all creation is shouting for joy.
But that's singing there. What going on there?
Come dance in the forest and play in the sea, and sing to the glory of the Lord. Praise for the sun, the bright
25 years we might.
That's
insane.
The moon and the stars will light up the way unto the throne.
Lucky, oh, no, look at here. Lucky, who is that now? Is it Calypsonian? I forget his name.
The throne.
Whoever that person is, I guess the person taking that to put on their Instagram.
The globes are sharing the glory of God, and all
and from this understanding right there, it seems like, you know, he was closely knitted with Roosevelt Douglas, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. He himself has been there for quite some time. But the difference between the present Prime Minister and him, he's actually doing things for his country. Because I remember back in the day that SVG, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was one of the poorest nations in the Caribbean. Today they are competing per capita with Antigua. They are competing per capita with Antigua.
Nation is shouting for joy.
Antigua St. Kitts. One of them.
Boy, come dance in the forest, come play in the field, and sing to the glory of the Lord.
I'm guessing this is actually the family land where they put them on. I remember back in the day, I did not know where they buried them. But I'm guessing this is probably the family land.
Praise to the wind that blows through the streets, the seas like the storms, the gentle breeze. They blow where they will, they blow where they please, to please the Lord.
But who that singing there now for you?
The heavens are telling the glory of God.
The priest are singing there. No, it comes.
And all creation is shouting for joy.
I guess they put the mic on the priest and somebody else, or whoever is close to him.
Come dance in the forest, come play in the fields, and sing to the glory of the Lord.
Well, this is a very solemn occasion of remembrance.
Sad, I would have to say. Very sad indeed. Because this man went and fought on the behalf of the Dominican people. And today the very people who are leaders under the very same party is fighting against the people. Brothers and sisters, let's say, what I'm saying is what I'm saying untruth? Is what I'm saying the untruth, guys? Let's face the reality. Is Dominica better than how it used to be? Getting a house that you cannot own or even have titles for, fighting for titles for, is not the way forward, brothers and sisters. Getting a house is as a result of your ability or inability to provide for yourself. And maybe not inability per se, because sometimes you have the ability to, but you don't have the opportunity to. This is why when Dominicans seem to leave Dominica and go overseas and they want to participate, utilizing the ability that they have in the opportunities that are there overseas, they excel. They excel in unimaginable ways, man. I'm telling you, I know some of them, you know. I know. They are excelling in unimaginable ways, brothers and sisters. So I think that is something vital right there.
For my dear friend and comrade Rosie, for his brother Mike, for Sister Pat, including sisters, and for the patriarch, R.B. Douglas, and the matriarch, Bernadette. Rosie was my very dear friend, and so too was Mike. Did a lot of things together.
Can you imagine knowing people? And I'm not as old as he, but I'm far in age from him. But I'm thinking to myself, individuals that you run with when it comes down to a political arena, and you are standing up by the grave, you are alive today, you know, and your friends who also became political leaders of a country, they are no longer alive. They are no longer alive today, and you are standing over their grave. You should also try to look at the impact that they've had versus what was taken from them. A number of persons will say, Mystelics, we understand that Rosie, Douglas, them are gone. But maybe the very people, and this is somebody that told me, this is an allegation. Maybe, allegedly, it was the very people who are running the present Labour Party are the ones who took the life of Roosevelt Douglas. No, I'm not saying that they did it. I am saying, based on the trajectory of Roosevelt Douglas passing, then you have Pierre Charles passing away. And then the succession happened where the Prime Minister, who is at present, is there and has been running Dominica for the past 21 years, running it down the drain in comparison to the previous two and what they stood for. Do you think that they will be happy today with what is happening to Dominica? I think that will be the answer. That would be no, dead no.
Lots of beautiful memories. And of course, I knew the father and the mother. And this evening I will speak about Rosie, because that's what it is about, but the entire family. Rosie was an extraordinary human being who gave his life to the service of the people of Dominica, the Caribbean, the African diaspora, and to Africa. To all oppressed peoples all over the world.
To all oppressed people from all over the world. And Dominicans have the sentiment that they themselves have been oppressed by the present team.
Rosie was not interested in things material.
That's true.
He was a man first and foremost about service. He died so young. But the Lord give it and the Lord take it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Well, the Lord bless you with food. Amen. I guess this was part of I guess the area. I think this is in Batibu, where they probably presented him a meal or something. You can hear the beach roaring. I don't know what Lakia come and do there. Lakia, you could have put a plate for you to eat too. What was the point of you coming down sit down to watch him eat? I don't know, brothers and sisters. Help me understand the sentiment of this right there. Anyways, guys, I saw this on social media right there. Nature Island News is saying Gonsalves urges Dominicans to remain faithful to Dominica Labour Party or to Labour. Now, I understand the sentiment of being faithful to Labour, but shouldn't that sentiment be faithful to Dominica? Because just like I mentioned a while ago, Roosevelt, Douglas, Pierre Charles, these people who are part of the Labour Party who are no longer alive, would not be happy with the present trajectory of the present Dominica Labour Party. They would not be happy with that at all. Based off how things were, based off the people who were amongst him, who knew Roosevelt, Douglas, you know, working with him, working alongside him, knowing his personal issues and what have you. These people who are alive today will tell you that the present Labour Party is not the same as the previous Labour Party. So to be loyal to the same Labour Party under the same name can be treasonous on the merit of not country per se, but treasonous to yourself on the merit of, or self-destructive on the merit that you are supporting somebody who's not supporting you like the previous set of people who rule in the party would be. You get my point, brothers and sisters. So when he's saying to remain faithful to Labour, I think there's a problem with that. Because to remain faithful to a party, let's put United Workers' Party, for example. The leadership has changed over the years, and different metrics can be applied. I think if we were faithful to country and not to party, then it will make sense if this person was running well in that party and doing things for the people, and then somebody, again, that person come out, passed away, died, whatever, a new person comes in and is doing the complete opposite of that previous person, creating chaos within, even though they are still the same party, within chaos, creating chaos, then you know your loyalty is not to party, it should be to country. Because if this one is doing well for the country, making sure that you have job opportunities, making sure more money is coming in your pockets, making sure that you are properly compensated, especially for inflation or the value of inflation, you know, properly being compensated, versus the other person not doing that, and you saying you're supporting that, really? I think there's a problem there, guys. I think there's a huge problem there. So for him to say remain faithful to the party, I have a huge problem with that. Even if he said UWP, I have a problem with that. Because you should never be faithful to party, brothers and sisters. Because party can lead you to chaos. This is why it's interesting when I pointed out some time back in previous reactions. They going overseas, they scary them going overseas to campaign from people who escaped from Dominica. They escaped from Dominica's economy to go overseas to get people. Why? Because the people who left Dominica because they know they could not make it in Dominica, left to go overseas for better opportunities. Dominica have more potential than all the other Caribbean islands, but the other Caribbean islands utilizing the little potential that they have. So they leave Dominica, go overseas for the little opportunities, taking advantage. But because they are loyal to party, not country, they will then come from overseas and come back Dominica to vote and then go back. You see how crazy that is? You see how insane that is, right there, brothers and sisters? So it's interesting when based on Nature Island News, if he made that statement right there, this is exactly what is happening to Dominica, brothers and sisters. So although you might say, okay, let's remain faithful to the party, but the party is no longer Dominica Labour Party, it's Skerrit Party. This is why people don't focus on Labour anymore. They focus on Skerrit and what Skerrit is doing under the name of the Dominica Labour Party, brothers and sisters. They don't put Dominica Labour Party there, you know, brothers and sisters. Skerrit, this is what Skerrit, many people think that Skerrit is doing for Dominica. He's making it seem, oh, we're going to build houses and these things for you guys, but you cannot own them. So you're taking your freedom, so you cannot complain that you don't get titles. Look at what is happening in Wesley. A lot of people haven't gotten their land, monies for their land, or titles for the new areas that they moved in. So they take away their freedom to talk, because if they talk, they might end up losing the land, or if they talk, they might not get paid the actual money that's owed on to them. You understand that sentiment that is happening, brothers. Just like when you have the teachers or you have the government workers who are not appointed. Now, if you're appointed, you can talk all you want to talk, brothers and sisters. Hey, this is not fair. They cannot fire you like that. So they're not appointing you. So you have to stay quiet. You trade in one to get a job for your freedom of speech. You see, taking the other leg right there. You already break your economic leg. They're taking your speech now. So to be loyal to party is not the wisest thing. Talking about breaking leg, brothers and sisters, this is another sentiment right there. This is a young man that has been doing well in his community, not doing anything illegal, doing his work. And the very country turned against him. Well, I shouldn't say country. The very leadership of the country turned against him. And then wants to come and be the knight in shining armor. Say, oh, we need to solve this problem. But it's not all you that started, nah. It's not all you. Huh? It's not all you that started. Oh, we need to solve the problem. We need to solve that problem. It's been too long. And you want us to stay loyal to party. When you stay loyal to party, brothers and sisters, you know, it's scary to stay loyal to. You do know that, right? Not to country, to party. So it's important to remember this thing right there. Also, I saw this on Dominica Breaking News, letter to the editor. Although I would like to congratulate Dominica on their CBI achievement, I still want to reflect on the fact of how the CBI has affected Dominica as a whole. Do you believe that the CBI has benefited the citizens in a significant way? What are your thoughts? I think that is a good question. Because in places like St. Kitts and, you know, other places that deal with CBI, they tend to feel the CBI in certain ways. For example, St. Kitts gives you some parts of that money. As a citizen, you get some parts of that monies. The monies is being utilized in the tourism sector to help advance St. Kitts' agenda, its opportunities, whatever opportunities it has to push. Most of it is involving tourism. So the citizens participate, people get jobs and this kind of things that's created because of the tourism sector elevating and so forth and so people benefit. When it comes down to Dominica, what does the people benefit from, brothers and sisters? What? The cause of destroying the economy where you cannot make your own house and therefore you have to be reliant on Skerrit and then reliant on Skerrit for you to get a house. People have told me they don't want to talk because they're going to get a house. So they're not talking. They're not talking, brothers and sisters. So you trade in your freedom for you to get a house and then you still have title for the very house to pass on to your family members. And another thing, to create generational wealth. You don't have titles, much less to start generational wealth. The economy is doing good. So just in case, if you were to get titles, the economy is still not good. To create generational wealth is generational poverty that is happening because you're constantly relying on a system to help you instead of you helping yourself. I think it was Martin Luther King that said, fear not what your country can do to you. No, it's not Martin Luther King that said that. I think it's somebody else that said that. Fear not what your country can do to you. Fear what you can do to yourself. Huh? No. Fear not what your country can do for you. Fear what you can do for your country. Pretty much. That is what is being indicated right there. Now, if your country is taken from you, how are you going to help your country? To the point where your country has to come back and decide, hey, let me build a house for you. And maybe that's how you will. Hey, stay quiet. We will do whatever we want. And you just have to stay quiet. Is that the case? Talking about CBI, brothers and sisters, I saw this sentiment right there. So it's very interesting. To IRGs, brothers and sisters, IRGCs, Quds Force, is, you know, you'll see it somewhere. Quds Force, this is Iran officers sanctioned this week by OFAC, of citizens by investment passport from St. Kitts and Dominica. The Prime Minister, the next time the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis or of Dominica boast, well, I don't think St. Kitts and Nevis boast of that. I know Dominica, or maybe I just don't know. The individuals in St. Kitts who see this video, let me know if Terrans has boast about having a most robust due diligence process. I'm sure it's that they're going to talk about. Boast in a press conference how good their due diligence inquiries are. regarding their reviews of applicants for economic citizenship passports. Someone should ask them how their countries can explain the fact that individuals who are in the Iranian, IRGC, Iranian Corp, brothers and sisters, which is a sanctioned terrorist organization, who issued their CBI passports. Now remember, brothers and sisters, back in the day, I don't know if they're doing it now, but back in the day, they could also change your name. So if your name is certain terrorist person on the list, as so and so, you could change your name to Anthony Hayden. You know, you could change your name to something and then get a new passport. Because how they track you is not on your name, they're tracking you. So if you change your name as something that Dominica used to do, or probably still do it, I'm not sure. So that's one of the ways that the terrorists and people of interest would evade their dirty ways. I took this information from the latest US Treasury OFAC sanction notice page. Compliance officers at international banks should not ever accept SKN or Dominica passports as. So that's another situation right there. The leaders of certain countries are putting the citizens in more problems, and then you think they have to be loyal to the party. Brothers and sisters, if you're loyal to the country, you think you will accept that? Leaders putting your country in peril, making you lose how much visa-free access and taking away the opportunities, the little opportunities that you have remaining to even travel if you have the ability to travel. That is the sentiment that we have arrived at, to say we're loyal to party, not country. People, if you understood what I'm saying right there, you will say, boy, Mystelics, boy, it's true. Let me change my dirty ways. It's true. I saw this on Dominica breaking news, brothers and sisters. Letter to the editor. I really trying to understand how it is everything so difficult in Dominica to remain loyal to party. This person is trying to understand how is it so difficult in Dominica. The person saying their stepfather was able to buy their first house, his first house, at the age of 18. Wow. And the way things be in that country, I working so hard. Not that you lazy, sit down on the side of the road begging on. You working hard in the country. And the person said it doesn't see what do. They don't see what. They don't party. Yet still, they cannot start to build a house for themselves. The government making it so hard. For young people to acquire land, to build a little place for themselves. Everything is a drag food. Yeah, that's true. Drag food. But you want them to stay loyal to party? It's party that is the thing, brothers and sisters. The citizens of the country need to understand it's not party, it's country. And when the people who are running the country making it difficult for you, you need to take them out. But they know that. And therefore they go overseas to get people who are loyal to party, not country, to come back in to vote. Interesting. Everything is a drag fruit, brothers and sisters. It have 2 years since I applied for land. Up to now, you have to apply for land. Apply for land? But where have you been now? You have to apply for land or buy land? Or you applying for land? So you're on a list where they have to give you land now? And then hopefully you can build. If you can build, really? That is crazy. I have 2 years since I applied for land. Up to now, nothing. Every time I go there, the officer in charge, never there. Let's talk about the issue of renting. Jesus wept. But then again, I remember that the government individuals did something for renters, landlords. So to rent again is another issue. That is against the help of the people. That again is another one. Right there. Since when did a 1-bedroom unfurnished house with no utility included reach to $800 in that country? Somebody asked me the other day, what is the benefit in Dominica as per the other Caribbean islands? I told them, well, the other Caribbean islands, groceries is cheaper, but Dominica rent is much cheaper than the other Caribbean islands, which is generally true. But now you telling me now 1 bedroom unfurnished house with a utility, without no utilities, is $800? That's a big house, man. In that country, all you fail to realize that all of us in the same ship, yeah. But the people who are at the top are the ones making it difficult for the citizens. This is why you need to take the people at the top out. Even if they represent the party that you are part of. If they are doing against the will of the people, they need to come out. Young people can barely save. That's what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. Scary City order, they save 5 plus 5, $55. Previously, he was saying try to save $200. Realize that is an impossible task. And it was within that same time frame, they increased their salaries by 50% while telling the citizens to save $200. Can you imagine that? Scary them salary increase about $4,000 increase. That is the increase, brothers and sisters, per month. But then they're talking about increasing the citizens' salaries by $10 and $20. And now they're talking about 8% for freeze. 3, 2, 3. Oh boy. Loyal to party. We all know that those salaries not salarying at all. No. Why are you squeezing us? Messy, madam. I just keep a whole bunch there. In that country, all you fail to realize that all of us in the same ship together, young people can barely save because all their money passing in rent, bills, and groceries. Some of them is sacrifice some of the money for bills or groceries to be able to buy a pair of shoes, yes, or clothes. But you want them to stay loyal to what? Faithful to labor. Labor is not the same labor. Brothers and sisters. Sacrificing bills, burn the candle this time. Some of them are solar, so at least that helps. We all know those salaries not salarying. Why are you squeezing us, Missy? How are you contributing to the young people who are actually trying hard to build a future for themselves? Well, they want you to stay loyal to them, so they have to keep you down. When you're independent, you cannot be dependent on people, you know. So they have to make sure you're dependent, so you stay dependent on them. That's how it works. Then are you wondering why it have more mad people on the road every day? Are you good to it? Anyways, please don't come for me. If anybody have an unfinished apartment renting at a price that making sense, because I know a lot of all you overcharging people, drop a comment. Thank you. So I'm guessing that person probably checking. Well, they're looking for apartment to thing. They paid $800 for. That is something else. Eh? That is truly something else. But then again, when prices going up and expenses going up and all kind of thing going up, and then your salaries them don't seem to be going up, but then just because your salary not going up doesn't mean that expenses on the renters don't go up. So that's probably why it's high like this right now. But you want people to stay loyal to party. While me and Motley came down and talk about Dominica, you know, knowing that she thought she was talking about, you know, we thought she was talking about somewhere else, but she wasn't talking about Dominica. Because everything she was staying on the stage was completely against the present Dominica Labour Party and what they're doing. She talked about increasing salary, saying that Barbados increased their salary the same day. Or around the same time, maybe Monday they increase the salaries, minimum wage. She said that on the stage. And Dominicans have been complaining about that for donkey years. Donkey gone and come back, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, what are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. I never knew I was going to stay this long on this video, but hey, I guess I spoke from my heart. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Don't forget, if you're not done so yet, click the thumbs up button to help spread these videos. And of course, when you click the thumbs up button, you get to see more of my videos as well. Others will pop up, maybe those from different times or pertaining to this here video. you will definitely get to see more. So click the thumbs up button for me, brothers and sisters. Subscribe for more vibrations as they do definitely tend to come through. And with that said already, I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember guys, be real, subtle king always. Thanks so much for watching. Be positive.